Hey guys, gwsmallwood, the Shaving Disciple here. So today I've got a new soap to try as a part of my Tweeds of March. So today we're going to be using MERShaving Banshee's Breath, which is a take on Green Irish Tweed. I'm going to be lathering that up using a AP Shaveco U-brush with a ShaveForge stone gray synthetic knot. And we're going to be doing the shave with my new Stirling ST razor. So I'm gonna go ahead and change my camera angle so that you guys can watch me lather up the soap here, and I'll talk about it while I lather. Alright guys, so once again we've got the MERShaving Banshee's Breath. So you can see it's a fairly solid soap. It's got a little bit of give to it, not completely hard. The scent on it, it's definitely Green Irish Tweed-like. It's got that bright lemon verbena. You get a bit of the iris. To me, I think it might be missing a little bit of the kind of sandalwood. It's there, but it's kind of faint. But it's still a really, really nice scent. So I've seen a few lather videos going around YouTube lately. CDB had a couple, one for himself, one for the razor company. I know the Stallion just recently did one. So I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing, because I've actually been doing something a little bit different than normal. I used to load from the tub, but recently I've started doing more scooping. So this is what I do. I use this little knife here, and you can use a knife, spoon. I'm not extremely accurate with it. I grab with the knife here, I grab about that much. I would say that's probably a little more than a quarter teaspoonful. And I go ahead and scrape it into a bowl. Now this bowl is not a custom made lather bowl for shaving. I actually picked this up at a flea market. I've got a matching soap dish that goes with it. I don't know what these were for originally, but it works really, really well for lathering. So I've been using a more smooth bottom bowl recently. So what I do is I just press this in here and kind of flatten it out on the bowl so that it makes it easier for the brush to pick up more of the soap. Like so. And I've got my brush soaking in my trusty Vanderhagen bowl here. It's the only thing I still have left from that original kit from when I first started wet shaving. I'll go ahead and put my razor out of the way here for a minute. So I go ahead and shake most of the water out of that. Give it a little bit of a squeeze. I've been trying to start with a little bit drier brush. So what I noticed recently was I was getting overly airy lathers, and I think it's because I was doing a couple of things. I was using my Captain's Choice lather bowl, which has the nice ridges, and I was agitating a little bit too much too quickly, in addition to starting with a brush that was a little bit too wet. So I changed things up and I started using my smooth bottom bowl here, and that seems to have helped a little bit. So I just go ahead and, like I said, with a fairly dry but still damp brush, just kind of start swirling on the soap here. Get that brush kind of loaded up, and I mean, this is kind of it's kind of sort of a bowl lather, but I don't introduce too much water in this stage. I typically have been just kind of loading the brush and getting the lather kind of proto started here. So as I'm lathering, it's bringing out that scent a lot more, which is really, really nice. So MERShaving. MERShaving is, it's actually Dave Ross, who is a member over at Badger and Blade. DCR3, I think is his username over there. So I've had a lot of interactions over the years with Dave over there. I know he also makes brushes. You can kind of see that's starting to get a really nice load in it. He started making soaps, I believe. He started selling them back around 2017. I'll actually link to some videos below that most of them are a few years old because that's when he first released these soaps. I'm really surprised I don't see them more often. This is the first time I've tried it, but from what I've seen on the reviews, Dave makes a really good soap. We're going to find out today, but all the reviews I've seen have been very, very complimentary. So this particular one is a duck fat soap. He makes it in two formulations. One is vegan and one is a duck fat formula. I'll put the ingredients up on the screen here so you guys can see the full ingredients. I think there's some lanolin in there as well. So this one is not the vegan version. You can also order them in mentholated or non-mentholated form. And he has an option for extra scent. So I like strong scented soaps. So I actually ordered mine with extra scent, no menthol. And it's definitely, I would say this is definitely a strong scented soap. It's not overpowering, but compared to a lot of the other Green Irish Tweed soaps I've been using this month that were new to me, this one is definitely much more heavily scented than those were. So you can see I'm starting to get a lather in here, but it's really pasty. It's very, very shiny, and that just kind of points to how slick this soap is probably going to be. It's looking very, very good so far. And I just kind of slowly add the water. Like I said, I've been using this flat bottom bowl so I get a little bit less agitation, which has helped me to keep some of that air out of my soap. So the big fluffy lathers like you get out of a shaving cream can, they look pretty, but for me, they don't shave as well. There's too much air in the mixture. I want mine to be more yogurty, less like Cool Whip and more like yogurt. To me, that gives a more protective, slick, easy, comfortable shave. So I was talking, chatting, messaging with Dave a little bit, who makes these soaps, on Badger and Blade yesterday. Was asking him, how he came up with MERShaving. It's actually his daughter's initials. So that's, I know a handful of people have asked about that when I've seen this soap reviewed. And so there's the answer to that. MERShaving came from Dave's daughter's initials. Another little bonus Easter egg that Dave gave me about this soap is this Banshee's breath. That is actually Dave's lovely wife on the artwork there, all dressed up and posing for the label for him. So nice little bonus tip for the Banshee's breath soap. So this soap is actually starting to look really, really nice. I'm just trying to get the rest of it kind of into the brush and somewhat into the bowl off the bottom of the I don't know if you can see, there's still a little bit of soap on the bottom of the bowl, so I try to kind of get all of that built into the lather before I get going to the skin. So this soap is $20 for 5 ounces, and like I showed you, it's a fairly hard pour, so it should last a while. And you can see how much lather I'm getting out of that little, like I said, probably just a little more than a 1/4 teaspoon bit of lather I put in here. And I have really hard water, So for me, it takes a little bit more soap than it does a lot of the other YouTubers you'll see to get this much lather. So $20 for 5 ounces, which on our cost chart puts it in at $4 per ounce, which is just on the fair side of the price range. Like I said, it's 1 cent away from being a good price. But Dave also does these, that includes shipping. He does free shipping to the US. So to me, this is actually a good price soap, even though it would come in at fair on the cost chart. So surprisingly, I haven't seen this soap used a ton over the past few years on YouTube. So I'm curious, all you guys watching the video, have you guys used any of Dave's MERShaving soaps before? Do you like them? Leave me a thumbs up if you guys have used these soaps before. I'm curious how many people are familiar with these. Alright, so I've got a really nice consistency of lather going in here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera angle, and I'm going to go to finishing off this lather on my dome. Alright, so we're back at normal angle here. I've got a really nice lather going here. For me, this is probably going to need just a little bit more water, but it's built at a nice consistency to be able to take it to the dome at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of soap up there. And this feels really nice. It's definitely got a lot of slickness. It's very dense. Managed to work that up in there without getting too much air into the mix. So it's going on pretty thick and a little bit pasty, which I expect at this stage of the game. So I just make sure I got enough up there. And then I kind of do a little bit of a dome lather from this point. I add a little bit more water, work it in. So this has been what I've been doing with my soaps lately. I have been doing kind of a combination bowl and head lather. I get it started and get it to a pretty good consistency in the bowl, and then I take it to the dome and introduce a little bit more water just to kind of make sure it's nicely hydrated. So I start in the bowl and I finish on the dome. This brush I haven't talked about much. I think I used it in a previous video, but I don't remember how much I talked about it. This is a kind of the same as what you might see as the Silk Smoke or the Apache, I've seen it called on some vendor sites. But it's the gray synthetic. This one is actually kind of a gray tan. It's almost like a taupe color. It's not a pure gray. This one's from ShaveForge, and it's a nice synthetic. It's not one of my favorites. I prefer super soft. This one actually this is probably one of my highest backbone brushes. So if you've tried synthetics and you found them too floppy, this might be a good one to try. It's got a lot of, I think it's the glue bump that really gives it a little bit of that extra backbone. So before we get to the actual shave, while I'm finishing up my lather here, I do want to mention I had a giveaway going for a couple of brushes that came from ShaveForge, and I drew the winners this morning. So the synthetic, that winner for the mint green and black synthetic with the kind of Boss Game Changer style knot, the winner of the synthetic was Faiz D. I think I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure that's an Arabic name. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but I think I'm saying it pretty close. Faiz D. So that was the winner of the synthetic brush from Shave Forge. And I was also giving away a Badger, which was a 2-band in a kind of chrome handle. The winner of the Badger brush was Readyland. So both of you are have, you know, this channel's only been around since December of last year, and I think both of you guys subscribed pretty early on. So I'm glad that the winners were guys that have been subscribed for a while. That's awesome. And thank you guys for watching. I know that was a 150 sub giveaway. I'm getting really close to 200, so thank you guys for watching and subscribing. I'm glad you guys are finding these videos helpful, and I will continue to make them as long as you guys do. So Faiz and Readyland, if you guys shoot me an email, I'll flash it up on the screen here, but you can also find it in the description below. My email is tsd@gwsmallwood.com. Shoot me an email with your shipping information and I'll get those brushes out to you. I got both of them sitting right here, already cleaned. Check out last week's video if you want to see how I cleaned and disinfected them. So they're cleaned, packaged up, and ready to go as soon as I get your addresses. Okay, so let's get to the shave. So I decided to use this again. I used this last week. I'll actually link to that video if you guys didn't see my kind of full review of this razor last week. This is the Stirling ST with the Austin handle, 3.5-inch handle. The ST is their standard base plate. It's still a very aggressive, in my opinion, base plate. Stainless steel, it's about 100 grams. I decided to use this again this week because I didn't have a very good shave with it last week because of the soap I was using. It was an acceptable shave. It just wasn't incredibly comfortable because of the soap. Based on what I've seen of this soap, I knew it was going to be pretty good. So I decided to run with it again just so I could get another use of this razor with a better soap accompanying it. And that feels very nice. Again, it is an aggressive razor, even the standard plate. I plan to do some comparison videos, some side-by-sides with this razor. So let me know in the comments. I have an R41. I have a DS Cosmetics Z0. I have a Blackbird. I have an ATT H1. Let me know which one you'd like to see me do a side-by-side with first. I'm leaning towards the R41 just because I suspect that one is the one that's going to compare most favorably with this one in terms of efficiency and aggression. So that first pass was really, really nice. That soap works really, really well. Very, very slick. The glide was nice. Felt really, really good. I'm actually going to add a little bit of soap in here. Just to get a little bit of extra protection with this particular razor. So I mentioned in last week's video that I do prefer a shorter handle than what's on this. I don't mind this handle too much, but if you can see, my grip is kind of starting to wander up towards the slippery part of the handle. And that, I think, is just because I'm used to shorter handles. I debated getting one of the handles that has kind of the grip up closer to the head, but that's not the way I typically hold my razors, so I went with this one. I think I may actually want to pick up a nice polished stainless handle in the kind of 3-inch range. So let me know that too. If you guys have any recommendations for nice polished stainless steel handles somewhere around the 3-inch range, so kind of that 76 to 85 millimeter. 85 millimeters probably the longest I like to go in a handle. So if you guys have any recommendations of handles you love that are nice polish that would match with this head, let me know. I might be willing to check one of those out. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water. The lather on the back of my head's kind of been sitting for a couple of minutes, so freshen that up with a little bit of water. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me finish what I was doing here and then I'll see if I can show you guys. But this lather is really, really nice. It's very, very slick. It goes on nice and dense. There's not much in the way of airiness or bubbliness to it. It's a really, really nice soap. Like I said, based on the reviews I've seen on it, I was really surprised that not as many guys have been using it. I don't have a ton of experience with the higher end soaps. I've never used like Grooming Depth or Holy Caw or what are some other ones? I don't know. I haven't used a lot of the higher cost soaps. So for me, this, I think, we'll see when it comes to post shave. But I suspect this is going to fit in nicely, performance-wise, with Murphy & McNeil, which is another really, really good soap that I've used. It's right about the same price point. And I think the performance so far is very, very similar. I know some guys aren't real big on post-shave feel as a criteria for soap evaluation. I know CDB being one of them. He doesn't really care because he uses aftershave products and balms and such. I do, because I shower after I shave, and so if I get in the shower and my head just kind of feels sticky and tacky from soap residue, I just don't enjoy it as much. So I actually prefer a really, really good post-shave feel. It's one of the things that is important to me. And I suspect this will be right there with Murphy & McNeil and some of the others that I use that have really good post-shave feel, just based on what it feels like right now. So the other thing I wanted to mention is, just because I haven't talked about it much, is I do link to all the products that I've been using below. And some of those links are affiliate links. I do that because I want to make it easy for people who are trying to find the stuff I'm using. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't buy anything. I'm a big proponent of setting a budget and sticking to it. And so if you see something on here like a $160 razor that looks cool but you don't have the money for it, don't buy it. You're not missing anything other than a bit of luxury. You can get a great shave with inexpensive razors. But if you do see something that you'd like to buy, it helps out my channel if you use the affiliate links in my description. I will, for some, like I said, not everything I use has an affiliate link, but for those that do, I get a little bit of a commission when you use my links, and that goes directly toward funding giveaways. So I've already done a couple of giveaways. I just announced the winners of my latest one, and I'd like to do more, so I will do as many as I can afford given my current shaving budget and what I'm able to bring in from affiliate links. I also have PayPal and Patreon, so if you're interested in donating to the channel, if you guys appreciate what I'm doing and value what I'm doing and want to show your appreciation, there are PayPal links and there's a Patreon link below. One thing to note on Patreon is I've got it set up right now so that if you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll get automatic entries into the giveaway and I'll notify you if you win. Whereas if you just enter through the video comments, you got to watch to find out if you won. So just a couple of perks of becoming a Patreon subscriber. So just wanted to mention that just because I haven't before. It's always uncomfortable for us to talk about that sort of thing, but I want to keep making these videos and I want to keep doing these giveaways for you guys, and I can make those I can do more of those giveaways and make them better if you guys decide you want to give me a little bit of help. So that's the shave. So far, so good. The soap performed really, really well. The razor, like I mentioned in last week's video, lots of blade feel, but very, very smooth and comfortable. Remember, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see me do a head-to-head with this first. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the shower, and I'll come back and let you know how the post-shave went. Alright, so I showered, and the post-shave feel on the MERShaving is really good. I'd say maybe a tiny step below the Murphy & McNeil, which is one of my top post-shave feel soaps I have. Certainly up there in the realm of Stirling, or I would say even Barrister & Mann's Excelsior. It's really good. So MERShaving, the Banshee's Breath. I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a new soap artisan to check out Dave. He makes a good soap. So Dave, if you're watching, thanks. So I finished up with some Stirling Sharp Dressed Man Splash and the body lotion, and hit the beard with a little bit of the St. Pierre's beard oil. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're still watching, Faiz and Readyland, shoot me an email and I will send out your brushes to you guys. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.